Good evening, viewers, and thank you for joining us on Daily Politics tonight. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy, and governance. I am Hamza Idris. Amid the current economic hardship, terrorists are unleashing mayhem on helpless Nigerians. The Daily Trust exclusively reported how terrorists abducted 117 internally displaced women and children in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, on Sunday. Following confirmation of the incident by the United Nations, which put the figure at over 200, Borno State government says search and rescue operations are underway. The latest mass abduction comes 10 years after Boko Haram terrorists attacked the government girls' secondary school in Chibok and kidnapped 276 girls on April 14, 2014. Till today, more than 80 of the girls are still in captivity. But sadly, elsewhere in the northwest, terrorists also abducted at least 312 students and a principal at the local education authority primary and junior secondary school in Kuriga, Chikun local government area of Kaduna State on Thursday. However, Governor Obasani, who visited the school on Thursday, said there is no exact figure of the abducted students.
We have not been able to know the number of the children or the students that have been kidnapped. But what I can say here is that by the grace of God, under my able leadership, we will try as much as possible to ensure that every child return by the grace of God, inshallah. We are doing our best. I'm going to work with the community leaders. I want to work with the traditional rulers here, as well as the youth, to ensure that every child.
And reacting to the developments, President Bola Tinubu has condemned the incidents in Borno and Kaduna states, respectively. The president directed security and intelligence agencies to immediately rescue the victims and ensure that justice is served against the perpetrators of these abominable attacks. Tonight on Daily Politics, we ask the big question: is the menace of mass abduction returning to the country? Because today's episode is specifically meant for you to call through dedicated telephone line to share your thoughts, but this will be a little later as the program unfolds. And here in the studio, we are joined by Isaac Abrak. He's a hostile environment journalist who joined us to help us dissect these issues. Mr. Isaac, welcome to the program once again.
Thank you for having me once again, Hamza.
It's a somber mood all over the country. I don't think if anybody is happy.
I'm not at all. Who will be happy about all mass killings? Imagine primary school children, disappearing, into the teen year. Women who are already IDPs, who are already suffering, now being kidnapped again. What is our assurance? Where is the protective system? Hamza, we are journalists, myself and you, and this is why I feel comfortable talking about these issues with you. Chibok, 2014. Right?
We were there.
We were there. 2014, we're here.
2024.
2024, we're here, and the same thing has repeated itself. So where are we going to? What efforts that we have done as journalists, the stories we have written, have there not been solutions enough? The efforts of the government, is it not enough? So I think, Hamza, that it is time for us to totally change tactics of what we are doing if we are to progress as a nation.
Yes, we will get to that. You see, in the introductory part, Isaac, I made mention that, for instance, the Borno incident, which happened on Sunday, we exclusively reported the incident because we are well grounded, of course, in the Northeast. Many could not believe it the next day when we said, over 100. Of course, we were very careful. Of course. Based on what the locals told us, but the next day the United Nations, they said, and they have I think they have more information than we do.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing.
Yes, they have quite a number of ways that they get. They said the number is over 200. So is it a coincidence? Chibok happened April 14, 2014. Exactly now is, of course, this is March, but just few days to another April that will mark a decade of the abduction of the Chibok girls. Is Nigeria such a big country that it cannot be surveilled, even from the skies?
First, I would like to say, having years of covering this thing, that this is not a mistake. It's not just a coincidence. I think these terrorists, they always plan the anniversaries of such attacks, to also show, and make loud propaganda. So I don't think
that we are still there.
Yes, we are still there. They are just trying to prove to us that no matter what we have been doing, we are still vulnerable to them. And if you say if Nigeria are too massive, how many are we in Nigeria? How many is India? How many is America?
China.
How many is China? It is just that we have not been able to agree within ourselves that we want to exist, and work together as a nation. That commitment, to get things done, I don't think it is actually there. Because how do you feel that after 10 years, the same thing is happening again? Like in Chukun, for instance, the Bethel school that was kidnapped, was it in 3 years ago, is still in Chukun local government, where about 200 students were abducted. It is still in Chukun, and this Kuriga is still in Chukun.
So the same location?
The same location. And 2 weeks ago or last week, there was an attack in Goningora in the same local government. So,
and these are places that are not really far from the state capital, right?
No. They are even in the state capital. Goningora is in the state capital.
Yeah, of course. Along the Abuja.
Yes, along the Abuja Express Road.
Now, okay, we have Chibok. We're yet to fully recover from Chibok because over 80 of those girls, they are now women.
Yes,
they are still in captivity, and the parents are still hopeful that their children will come back. But I'm a bit disturbed. You understand? Leaders not really being on the same page with victims. Why am I saying this? Up till now, the military, they didn't say anything or to give us numbers. Borno State government has not given us numbers. In Kaduna, even the governor is saying that we should be careful with the numbers. Of course, nobody is saying that we're obsessed with numbers, right? But I think every life counts, and relatives of those abducted will be concerned if they don't hear anything from authorities.
You see, Hamza, you are right. The government must show seriousness to be able to be accountable to the children that we send to them to schools. If you send your kid to a government school, that child is in the custody of the Kaduna State governor. That child is in the custody of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And as such, if anything goes wrong, you are expected, the government official is expected to tell you, Hamza, so and so thing, so and so thing happened, to your child, and this is the number. And when you come and the numbers are not actually correct, or they are not sure about the numbers, it gives you a certain impression. And again, remember, this was what happened in Chibok.
Yeah.
Okay. The same thing, we were battling with numbers. When journalists come up with numbers, they will early tell you that it is not true. Wait for the numbers to be confirmed. It happened in Chibok. It happened in Mamundo. It happened in that federal government college. It happened in Dapchi. The same thing. The numbers will not always. So it even goes to tell us that, is our educational system, are they even serious in teaching our children? Is there that parent, is there that teacher-pupil relationship? Do they really know the number of children in their classrooms? If they know the number of children in their classroom, how comes that when such a thing happens, they cannot immediately pull out their register and do a roll call of the ones that are within the school and say, so, are you around? Raise your hand. If you are not around, then at that moment in time, they say, okay, these people are not accountable for. Not to say they have been abducted. Just say that they are not accountable for, because some would have gone into hiding.
Yeah, and that was what actually assisted us yesterday, because towards the end of product, in fact, we did our lead story like 4 times. Yes, yesterday, because what we had earlier in the day, because this didn't happen in the morning, was different from what came to us around 4. By 7, different story. By 9, different story. Around 11.
No consistency.
Yes, around 11. So we now went ahead with the figures given by one of the teachers in this school in Kaduna who will have been abducted, but God helped him. I know he escaped. So when he came back, they were able to do head count and arrive at the numbers. So 10 years, still battling with basic issues. And it's like leaders don't even want some of this information to get out there. Because when we did the Borno story, you know, nobody said anything. Apart from the locals who were directly
Yes, immediately, yes, I remember.
affected.
Nobody. Yeah.
Why is it difficult for leaders in Nigeria to open up? You are a hostile environment journalist.
I mean, why is it difficult for them to open up? I mean, it means that when you know that you are not sure about what you're doing, you know, when you lack confidence, you know, in service, you know, so you know that there are a lot of ineptitudes, you know, in the process of service, in the office of service, and as such, when things like that happen, you find it difficult, you know, to come forward, because leaders can actually come forward boldly and admit, you know, to mistakes and admit to failures, you know. So at that time, the public can now have confidence. Okay, since it's capable of opening up and admitting that so thing happened, then let us cooperate with them and move forward. Yes. But because of insincerity, you know, of service, you know, to humanity, you know, this is why I think that it is always difficult for them, you know, to always open up. Our system has always been operating a system of secrecy where things are just hidden, you know, and this is what has gotten us to where we are.
Sadly. Okay, because it is now the right time for you to call through the number on your screen to share your thoughts on the topic. What is the antidote to the mass abduction in Nigeria? But remember to keep your comments short and avoid foul language. Over to you. Yes.
So, Hamza, it is, I mean, so maybe this program would make appeal to teachers, especially in the educational sector, particularly as journalists who have covered all these abductions, that to please show more concern, you know, to the pupils, to the management of school children, you know, because when such incidences happen and the school authority or the government is not able to immediately come together and account for the children, it makes them it makes the public lose confidence, you know, in the school system.
Isaac, it's like we have our first caller on the program. Who is on the line? Hello?
Yeah, good evening. I'm the Idris and the guest in the studio.
Good evening.
Yeah, you are speaking to Ali Umar Shamaki from Nasarawa State.
Exactly, Shamaki. Ali, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
How did you felt when you heard of the incident in Borno, for instance? It was the first shocker, over 200 women.
In fact, it is very unfortunate and sympathetic. You see, this issue will not give room for parents to have, courage to be taking their pupils or their children to, school. In fact, government needs to do something about this thing. When I saw this thing, I was so surprised. Where our security? We have different types of security in this country. The armies are there, the police are there, the civil defense are there, and others. So, in fact, the federal government should not take this thing as a threat. They have to stop. They should call this thing together, not suddenly to be put in place. Because otherwise, this thing will discourage parents to not take their children to school. So may God help us and bring the rest of this incident and crime in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, Ali Shamaki, thank you for calling. He said this will discourage parents from even releasing their children. But I think it is already discouraging parents when you look at it. Even the out-of-school children figure is contentious in Nigeria now. Because the UNICEF has its figure, the federal government has its figure, even Federal Ministry of Education. sometimes they give you different figure of out of school children, and people are just attributing this out of school thing to poverty. I think some of these uncertainties are also factors that
of course
are discouraging parents from allowing their children to go to school.
Of course, Hamza. You know what we had during the Chibok situation? You know, when Boko Haram cracked down on education institutions in the northeast, a lot of people, students were saying, and their parents were saying, we will not release our children back to school again. And that discouraged education. So it is part of it, whether we like it or not, no matter the degree. Parents still no longer feel safe, you know, to send their wards to school, especially if you have been a victim.
Yeah, and this school that was attacked, okay, it's like we have a second caller in the person of Mohammed. Yes, Mohammed, welcome to the program.
Hello?
Hello, Mohammed, welcome.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, yes. Where are you calling from?
Yes. From Jos.
Oh, from Jos. Mohammed, you are welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, let's
I would
have
like
it.
to briefly comment about Mr. Abrak's consistent mention of Chukun local government. I think just like you have rightly said, every life counts. I would like to remind Mr. Abrak that the situation in Chukun is not in any way different from the terrible situation in your local government, the local government, and Birmingham local government. In fact, the most dangerous local government that we have in Kaduna State is Birmingham local government. Hundreds, thousands of people have lost their lives in the three local governments. The only difference is that in all the three local governments, people treat everything as sheer criminality and inhumanity. Whereas some commentaries, commentators like Mr. Abrak always believe that try to attach certain sentiments, which of course is doing a great disservice to the genuine efforts to find a lasting solution to this madness and heartlessness which affects each and every one of us. All of us are victims, and all of us must unite ourselves.
What sentiments?
And shun anything whatsoever.
What sentiments have I attached?
I see. Are you sure?
What sentiments have I attached?
You see, the reason why Abrak gave... Are you with me? Are you with me?
What
Mohammed?
sentiments have I attached to it?
Mohammed?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you, Madam.
Yes, you are with me. But you see, the issue is that this school where over 300 pupils, you know, were taken away is actually in Chukun, and is the main subject matter of our discussion. I think that is why Abrak, you know, emphasized that, okay, these things have been happening. And if you have read our paper today, the Daily Trust, you will see that we mentioned all the local government areas, but they didn't appear on the, you know, our main headline.
I have read it.
Exactly, because this is the most latest. It was in the same local government, you know, the same village where, you know, a principal was abducted, not quite long, you know, in fact he was killed and his wife abducted. I think this is, and after all, Abrak is not from Chukun. Or you are from Chukun?
I'm not from Chukun. I'm from Zangon Kata.
Okay, so now, what do you think will be the antidote? Yes, what do you think will be the antidote to these problems, Mohammed? I mean, solutions,
the government needs to wake up from its slumber. The mere assumption that having a state police is going to do the magic, to me, is nothing but delusional. If you are going to have 15,000 policemen and you divide them into 200 plus wards in Kaduna State, how many wards are they going to protect? I think this requires serious effort on the part of the state government and federal government and all of us to know that this is an existential threat that calls for unity amongst all ethnic groups and religious groups so that we can confront this monster. People that have taken up arms that are in the forest, those who are forced by circumstances, let us identify them, tell them to come and lay down their arms. Those who have made criminality, banditry, and kidnapping as a way of their life, we give them notice to either surrender or they are eliminated.
All right.
Simple.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for your informed perspective. Coincidentally, he touched your area of interest. He said we have to take care of the forest.
Yes. First, I'm happy that you clarify me, you know, from that I was attaching sentiments. There is no sentiments to the issues that we are talking about here, where the business we are doing here is to protect and promote humanity. Yes, the forest. He's very right. You know, if we do not secure the forest where all these violent groups are hiding, then what are we doing? And this is why we have proposed that for the forest guard, and that the forest guard should recruit from communities in the forest or communities living at the fringes of the forest. If, for instance, the people of Kuriga had their people serving in the Kaduna State vigilante service, that the state governor recruited 7,000. I don't know how many of those numbers have rural dwellers in that vigilante service. Because if we have many of them as foot soldiers, especially in that vigilante service, and they were monitoring the forest, because as villagers, they are comfortable in the forest, Hamza. If you take somebody who lives in the urban area and take him to walk in the forest, that person is just eager to finish that job and go back home.
Yeah, okay. But it's like we have another caller. Okay, thank you. You are so passionate about
that is the solution. Okay, it worked for us in Maiduguri.
It's like we have Shehu, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay, we lost him. Sadly, we lost Shehu who attempted to call. Now, you know, Mohammed. I asked him of the way forward. He said, state police alone will not solve the problem. Coincidentally, what Governor Ubasani told people of Kuriga yesterday was that even when he was in the Senate, he advocated for state police. Now he is still strongly advocating for state police. Are you on the same page with Mohammed that state police alone will not solve it?
Of course, state police alone is not going to solve it.
But is it not in the name? You know, I feel any other person, by whatever name, if you get the right people with the right mindset, they should be able to solve whatever problem you have.
Well, Lamza, you have read something there. You know, the name police has a repetition. The way people accept police everywhere in the world is not limited to Nigeria. You know, so if you are creating a state police today, remember that first of all, the public will have, you know, to welcome that police, because anywhere police,
they are seen as strangers, even though their slogan is, you know, they are friends.
Police is your friend. Yes. But globally, everywhere you go, police has this kind of reputation with the public. People tend to have try to create some kind of distance between them and the police. It's natural. It's there. So if you are creating a state police at the moment now, know that by that name that you are giving them, they have a hurdle to cross, because they have to clear themselves and prove to the people that, yes, we are actually here to work for you people. The answers is not so far. You know, these are things that is known, you know. So that one aside, right? That one aside. Then again, we talk about the issue about the state police. Will the state police, although the governor said so, mentioned that the state police was going to recruit, you know, people from the Kuriga from the Kuriga village, which is fantastic if it can do that successful. So that means that we're seeing a state police that will have a unit in the forest. If that is what it is going to be, have a state police that will be working in the forest, then that is fine. Okay. But it's actually difficult to think that you will have a police working 24 hours in the forest.
Okay, we have another caller from the FCT in the person of Joshua. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yes, we're happy having you. And what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts on what, you know, like yesterday, as we heard this, as usual, everybody will be scared and everything. And like some of us that we are in some of the states that are prone to this insecurity, it's so annoying. I just want to start to appreciate my chairman there, Mr. Isaac Abrak, and what he's doing. We like what he's doing. He should continue to push it. I know they will hear it. But I want to say, somebody has said that any insecurity that is more than 3 months and is not solved, that the hand of government is in it. I feel they know what to do, but they don't want to do it. I don't know what they are gaining from it, but it's making everybody to be so scared. In their own country, people becoming refugees in the IDP camp. I'm from Borno State, and when you go to Borno State, it's so painful that you don't even know what is causing the problem. But me, I know that the government, the people that will say they don't know what to do, everybody know what to do. It's just that they don't know, they don't want to do it. Right now, everybody has been pushing for community police or whatever, but they don't want to do it. Even right now, there are so many governors that doesn't want to still agree to that because they know what they are getting from it. But our prayer is that we'll keep on staying until maybe the day somebody that doesn't care what they are doing, the person will now agree to do the right thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for calling and for commending Isaac here. Abrak here, hostile environment journalist. She said, the voice sound like a lady, you know?
That is our women leader.
Oh,
the women leader.
Is Antonia?
No, Doshma.
Okay, Doshma.
Okay, yes, she's from Benue State.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
And I sympathize with her because there was also, you know, a breach of security in Benue State a few days ago. So I think we have to understand, Isaac, you've been studying issues around these forests because whenever, okay, it's like we have another caller. Maybe I have to take him.
That's fine.
It's their day. So please don't be offended.
That's fine. That's fine.
Shuaibu, welcome to the program. Hello?
This is Shuaibu. I'm calling you from Plateau.
Okay, from Plateau. You are welcome, Shuaibu. Okay, what do you have for us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Very well. Maybe you reduce the sound of your TV set so that you will also hear what we are saying from here while you speak. Okay, we lost the call. I think he's trying to strike a balance between what he hears from the TV and then the telephone. Yes. So we have to understand that these bandits or terrorists or whatever name, you know, we give them, when they take innocent people, they just take them to the bush. Now, to what end are they taking these poor people? Because when you look at it now, these boys in Kuriga, all of them, in fact, in our story, we stated that about 20 of the pupils are orphans.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sadly, their parents were killed by bandits.
Hi, Hamza.
So, I don't know. What is the motivation for these terrorists picking people who are already helpless? The school where these students were before they were picked was not fenced. In fact, even the roofs are blown off and all that. Now they have taken these people. I don't know. Maybe you tell us. Is it to ask for ransom or to make a point?
I mean, it's a two double-edged sword. It's to ask for ransom and also to...
But who will pay?
But basically, who will pay, Hamza? People have been paying. People pay. Some people pay through back doors.
These people have been pauperized already.
Yes, sometimes. Okay, let me tell you a story. In Maraban Rido during the Bethel thing, during the Bethel issue, and we are not encouraging this, people had to go from their neighbors from door to door begging for contributions. From door to door, begging for contribution.
Well, even in
Zamfara, thank you. In Zamfara, I met a family that a grandfather was kidnapped along with his 3 grandchildren and his 2 daughters.
In Zamfara?
In Zamfara. We ran that story. It was on another international media station. They begged. He told me he went from house to house begging for contribution to pay ransoms. So, definitely, there is the angle for ransoms. But largely is to make a statement. And this is why I said it is not a coincidence. It is something that is coordinated between the attack in Borno State and the attack in Kaduna State. It is largely because I believe, this is my belief, after so many years of journalism, I have come to study it, that anytime there's an adversary or there's a public holiday, these bandits try to attack so that to make a loud ovation and to prove to us that we have not gone anywhere in the combat against them. Although we know that is falsehood, we know that it's basically a propaganda. No matter how it is, our military are trying to do their best. But again, definitely at the end of the day, some people will pay this ransom. No matter how poor they are, they will pay this ransom. And again, sometimes they are looking for wives. Sometimes they are looking for little children that can be forced into terrorism. We know that in Borno, you know it very well, that in the northeast, they were recruiting child soldiers. When you groom them from small, you know, they grow up to imbibe the spirit of whatever has been inculcated.
No matter how terrible it is.
Yes, inculcated into them. They are easy to brainwash. You know, so this is it. If not, how can somebody go and carry 287 children? How are you going to, you know, cater for them? So it is a double-edged sword. They want to make a mark to prove to us that we've gone nowhere, and also to collect ransom. But I believe, Hamza, that the days of this insecurity, you know, mass kidnapping is numbered because of the forest guard.
I don't want to believe with you.
Yes.
Because, of course, we are not here to argue, Isaac. But if something like this happened in 2014, and we have had countless numbers of similar attacks, but the magnitude isn't actually as much, right? In 276 in 2014. Mm-hmm. Now this school, 287. You know, it was actually around 312.
Yeah.
But 25 of the pupils were able to escape early enough, and they shepherded 287. Now, if you are to divide this number and put them in a luxury bus, meaning you will need like 6 buses.
Yes.
So, where am I trying to go? How possible on earth is it, even if these are sheep, you should be able to identify them? Now, how many hours? More than 24 hours. So, are there some problems somewhere?
Yes, I know people have also always suspected complicity, you know, between, complicity of our security systems, you know, into this. But it is not. Okay,
it's like we have a caller, I think, from, we have a caller from Delta State. Right? Obaelsa? Delta, yes. Fidelis. Welcome to the program, Mr. Fidelis.
Yeah, from Asaba, from Asaba.
Okay, Asaba, that is Delta, right?
Yeah, Delta.
Delta State,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the program.
Yeah, I just want to express my opinion.
Okay.
That it's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
That China to me said there was a country. And I'm beginning to believe that there's no longer a country called Nigeria. Because our leaders who are supposed to build a nation are all fighting and are struggling for the economic gains that belongs to you and me. They have not built a nation, and they are not building a nation. Even now, where the chips are down, where our natural resources are depleted, they are not still making any concrete efforts to revive this country. Economically, politically, now they have succeeded in destroying the masses. They have disintegrated Nigerians. They have broken the bond that was being built as in Nigeria, creating enmity because of their political aim. And now, people, if you cannot give them hope as a nation, definitely they will look out for other means of survival. And that's why you are having kidnapping, that's why you are having banditry, because they have lost hope in the nation. And for this thing to come to an end, you can't say in the next that their days are numbered when there is no concrete effort, both economically, politically, and otherwise, to bring this country back to where it was before.
Okay, so Mr. Fidelis, if you are to... Hello, Mr. Fidelis.
I'm hearing you.
Yes, if I understand what you are saying, why we are witnessing some of these things is because we have leadership deficit, right?
Yes, total failure in the leadership.
Okay, so what do you think Nigerians must do from top to bottom?
Yes. We have to go back to the basis. Politically first. If we get it right politically, and then come back to bringing this nation one, and then think economically how to begin to, look at the need of the masses. Now, the fundamental thing that must be done is that the politicians, our so-called heroes past or past leaders, must come out with sincerity and prepare to make sacrifices.
Okay.
Until they have looted our treasure, come out and say, let us put an end to this. Let us bring, even if it's half of what we have stolen, and bring it back as national treasury. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Round up, yeah, round up.
So if they can genuinely come out and say, let's bring back what we have stolen.
Yeah.
And let's put this country back. And they agreed. And then they all collectively say, let's end corruption.
All right.
And let what comes from the people go to the people.
All right.
You will see the society returning back to normal.
All right.
And people will begin to look at the leadership and say, yes, the governor is doing well. He has created 10 million and he's using that 10 million to take care of the people.
All right.
The president is doing well, is managing the resources that are available well.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Fidelis. With all sense of responsibility, I think he has spoken well by talking about, because we've been lamenting. Of course, everyone is entitled to his opinion, but Fidelis said we are witnessing some of these issues because leaders have abandoned the trust God vested in their hands. Do you agree with him?
Yes, I agree with him. Only that I don't agree with him to say that we don't have a nation. We have a nation. We are naturally, as human beings, we are deficient. Yes, our leaders have some deficiency, but Nigeria is a nation and Nigerians still love themselves. Our nationalism spirit is still there. That's why we're still very much together. Okay. To talk about when I said that the days of the insurgents and these violent groups are numbered, because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has agreed to revitalize the forest guard, and he has charged all the state governors, to go and strengthen them in terms of numbers and also arm them. Now, if every state can keep this promise and revitalize the forest guard, recruit Hamza from rural communities, because one of the issues that we have been saying this thing, that our forces are faced with, is that they don't have the mastery of the terrain, forest terrain, as much as these violent groups. So therefore, it is difficult for them, to monitor the forest and apprehend them. But with the locals,
they are the right people.
They are the right people.
Okay, let's take this caller from Zamfara, one of the red spots, right? Haruna. Welcome to the program, Haruna.
Thank you very much, Hamza.
Yes.
You see, what is happening is really disheartening. Our security system is grounded. The government needs to wake up.
Okay.
Employ more police, train and equip them. It means what is happening, the military is overstretched.
Yes.
Internal security is not the purview of military. For long now, the insecurity is becoming unbecoming by the day.
Okay.
Employ more police, train and equip them. Look at the international standard hate now. In Nigeria, the whole police force is not up to 1 million. We are more than 200 million people. Security and welfare is the sole primary purpose of government. In that case, the Nigerian government should really wake up.
All right. All right, Haruna. Thank you very much. Yeah, we appreciate. He mentioned quite a number of things. He said the security system is grounded, and I can't agree more, because even the National Assembly, Isaac, remember, 2 days ago, they said the template, the security architecture template currently being used is actually not working. And the military is also overstretched. This is...
I mean, it's true, Hamza, the military is so overstretched. Hamza, you know it. Since 2011, these military people have been combating terrorism for how many years? You know, yes, we have degraded them. Yes, there are no more bombs, you know, but it's kind of overstretching. If you go, we have the military manning roadblocks. We have the military fighting Niger oil militancy in the south, in the northeast, in the southeast. The military is dealing with those claiming to be separatists. In the northwest here, the military is dealing with bandits. You know, in the middle belt, we have the Fulani headers, farmers clashes. All the military is dealing with it. You know, so they are overstretched. How many are they? They are overstretched. It is true. We need more hands. You know, but I would like to add that in terms of this forest issue, I repeat again, most of our security problems are hiding in the forest. And if we want to deal with them, we must get an outfit that can operate optimally, you know, in the forest, and must be domiciled in the forest.
Okay, I think, you know, somebody saying this. He said the government is currently trying to boost agricultural production by incentivizing farmers through different initiatives. How can this work when the local areas where the farms are located aren't safe? This is also contributing to food security crisis. Yeah, IDPs are also crying out. They have stayed enough in the camp. What was supposed to be temporary is gradually becoming permanent monster.
Oh, what a sad, that's a very sad statement. It is true. For anywhere there is an attack, right, it is an elongation of food insecurity. Because in Kuriga, for instance, right now, Hamza, it is natural. It is a natural human behavior. The farmers, it is basically a farming community. So the farmers in that place will be afraid to go to farms. So that means that the farming, the crops that used to come from that village will no longer be there. You know, and already we have a situation that there is already scarcity. So, and this is why we are advocating for the forest guard. If you use the people in the rural areas, you recruit them, the monies that these people are going to get working as forest guard, most of them are farmers. They will use part of this money into their farmlands. But primarily, what they will bring to the table is their expertise of the forest, their comfortability to work in the forest. And also, remember, Hamza, that these are the people that have been attacked directly. That means that their level of commitment to protect themselves and keep themselves alive and save and protect the dignity of their women from being raped, you know, they will go all out to ensure that they work in this forest and secure it. And we are not saying that these people should carry sophisticated weapons and go and engage the criminals, the bandits.
But
no.
You know, things in Nigeria, I always use this word, enigma, you know, that you don't see it happening anywhere. Maybe 300 people at one fell swoop. And then, as if they were buried somewhere. Is it that Nigeria is not investing in technology? Because, Isaac, if you Google now, you know, it can trace, there is an app there that can trace wherever you...
Honestly, it's embarrassing, you know, when you think about it in that line, because it is little technology, just drones, you know, can do these jobs for us. Honestly, I want to believe that there is fatigue, you know, on the part of especially the military. I have embedded with them, you yourself. These people have been fighting this thing for such a very long time, Hamza. They are human beings like us. You know, yes, they are trained to do it, but sometimes some of these guys don't even have time to go on breaks. They don't have time.
Because they work 24 hours.
They are overworked. Sometimes you are redeployed here, you are redeployed to that place, you are redeployed to that place.
But our forest is so big,
yes,
that we cannot clear them. I mean, we cannot put enough boots to clear this forest.
Yes, our forests are not too much, are not too big, because we are not more than China, we are not more than a lot of other countries. This is why we are saying that with the ascension of the governors and the president to now bring in the forest guard and the state police, right? That means that we are going to have boots, more boots on the ground. But again, it is not just recruiting people, it is the manner to which you recruit them. What are you telling them? And we are advocating that these people should be brought together and trained and inculcated with the spirit of nationalism and citizenship. Some people will tell me that this is Nigeria. People no longer believe, in all these things again, but it is not true, Hamza. There is a reservation of dignity, of dignity, human respect, love and compassion that is still very much reserved amongst Nigerians, especially people in the rural areas. We can tap on that.
Their sense of patriotism.
Their sense of patriotism.
And innocence.
Innocence, thank you. And love for communality. You bring them together, you train them, you tell them that if you protect this forest in Umahia, you're protecting this forest in Kanu.
Okay.
If you protect this forest in Ekiti, you're protecting a forest in Bayelsa. You're protecting a community in Bayelsa, because these people are roaming in the forest and they can go to any part of Nigeria as the way they want. Right? So now that the state governors have agreed, and I want to use this opportunity to commend the Niger State governor, who has agreed to do the forest guard, also the Ebonyi State governor, who has even approved for the recruitment of 2,600 personnel. We hope that all other governors will join in. Let us have a uniformity, at, let's say, before the end of this year. We have the full state governors having recruited it, so that every state can be able, to hold their community, their forest, and protect it. These guys will have nowhere to run to.
All right, Isaac. I wish we have more time, and so many people trying to call in.
Oh, okay.
But time not on our side. You too, you have quite a number of points to make, but time is not on our side. So we want to thank you for coming to the program. And we also want to thank Alisha Maki, Mohammed, Shehu, Doshima, right?
Oh, Doshima.
Shuaibu, Fidelis, Adamu, and Haruna, who actually succeeded in getting us and giving out valid points as to how to solve this problem. So, because we want to send our condolences and, of course, sympathies to families of those who have been killed and those who have been abducted, and pray that something urgent will happen so that they will all come back. And that is a wrap on today's package, which we hope you have found engaging and informative, and continue to be with us on Daily Politics as we continue to bring you more interesting programs and giving you the opportunity to also contribute to national discourse. For now, thank you for being there. I'm Hamza Idris. Bye-bye for now.